Welcome to the HE game of the week. Tonight we have Fremd hosting Hoffman Estates. Fremd comes in at 3-1. Hoffman Estates is even at 2-2. Fremd is coached by Lou Sponsel, and Hoffman Estates is coached by Mike Donatucci, who coached here at Fremd for 19 years and is the winningest coach in the Mid-Suburban League. Donatucci is now in his second year at Hoffman Estates, and he returns to Fremd for the first time. Last week, Fremd beat Buffalo Grove 49-0, while Hoffman Estates took its first loss of the year to Rolling Meadows, 7-28, so they come off different situations. Fremd coming in off of a very big win, and Rolling Meadows coming off of their first loss. On offense for Fremd last week, wide receiver Jawan Gaines scored 4 touchdowns, 1 on a 77-yard run and 2 on 25-yard pass receptions. Darius Burkett scored a couple of running touchdowns, 32 and 7 yards. And their quarterback, Cordell Finley, was 7 of 11 for 138 yards with 3 TD passes. So the offense was strong, but the defense was even more impressive. The defense held Buffalo Grove to only 73 yards. And over and above that, they had 6 sacks. They had a 28-yard return of an interception for a touchdown. And finally, they had a blocked punt. So the defense was just absolutely overwhelming last week for Fremd. They completely dominated that game, winning 49-0. On the year, Fremd is averaging offensively 306 yards per game, which consists mostly of running. It's 244 yards a game running. They only do about 62 yards passing. But on defense is where they've really been truly exceptional. They're one of the best teams in the state, maybe the best team in the state on defense. They're holding opponents to only 151 yards per game. That's 67 yards running, 84 yards passing. Their defense is by far the best so far in the Mid-Suburban League West. The second best team is Barrington, and they're allowing almost 100 yards a game more than Fremd is. Another thing from that stat from last week's game with Buffalo Grove is that the Fremd defense held Buffalo Grove to minus 16 yards running. Hoffman Estates last week, they played well on offense. They gained 303 yards. On the season, they're averaging 315, which is actually a little more offense than Fremd is achieving on the season. And Hoffman is a little heavy toward running. They're 193 per game running, 120-21 passing. The Hoffman Estates defense has held opponents to 277 yards, which is fairly good. And that consists of 126 running and 151 passing. Some key players for Fremd are Burkett, the running back, Gaines at wide receiver, the quarterback, of course, Cordell Finley. They've got a big offensive line. It averages up around 250 or so, and Jake Plants is one of the linemen at 6'3", 250. The largest lineman is Dominic Lombard at 6'5", 295 pounds, so that's already major college-size lineman there. On defense, Fremd is employing a version of the 4-2 with a flex aspect to it, and what that means is that some of the linemen are back off the line of scrimmage a little bit, and the nose guard typically is off the line a little bit and is on an angle. And by doing that, they're hard to block for the offensive linemen, and they also cause the offensive line to move more to block them, which opens up holes in the lines for the linebackers to blitz through. It's been obviously very effective for them so far this year. Some of the players on defense for Fremd in the defensive line, they've got Matt McCabe, Alex Jacobs, Dominic Rorbel, linebackers Jack Hansen and Patrick Chen. And among the defensive backs, they've got Ryan Haas, Ken Like, Matt Mayer, and Jawan Gaines also plays defensive back to some extent. Some of the key players for Hoffman Estates, their quarterback tonight is Jeff Mays, and he's gone 30 of 92 on the season for 524 yards. He's got 4 touchdowns, but has 6 interceptions. Connor McCary is their leading ball carrier, and he's averaging 4.1 yards a carry. The H-back in their system, which is the same system that Donatucci used when he was at Fremd, is Dante Cleveland, and sometimes it's Andrew Vesper. Mike Barres is a wide receiver for Hoffman. The offensive line is not quite as big as Fremd's, but it does feature one fairly big lineman. Zach Clark is 6'3", 265 pounds. The defense has defensive ends Vesper and Javante Brondley, who have been playing well this year. And middle linebacker is Gil Alicia. The biggest factor in tonight's game is the Fremd defense, which has allowed only 3.25 points per game. They've allowed only, the whole season, they've only allowed 13 points, only 1 touchdown all year. Their last 2 games have been shutouts. This puts them, they're either first in the state in defense against scoring or very nearly it. That's the biggest factor for Donatucci, who brings Hoffman Estates in here at 2-2, and they're playing good football. They're playing decent, certainly good offense and decent defense. But Fremd is holding opponents to 67 yards running and only 84 yards passing. It's a tremendous defensive team. And I think the best chance for Hoffman is to play good defense themselves, have their offense play the way it has been, perhaps get some turnovers and have really good special teams play. However, that's a real tall order. Realistically, it looks like the Fremd defense will be the dominant factor here tonight and will probably result in Fremd leaving the field tonight with a 5-0 record.
All right, we're here at Hale Hildebrand Field at Fremd High School, bringing you the HGTV Game of the Week. Hoffman Estates is getting ready to kick off to the Fremd Vikings. Fremd will start off on offense, moving left to right. So we'll see how these two MSL rivals stack up here tonight.
This is the first conference game. The crossovers have been complete, and this is a mid-suburban West conference game.
Squib kick taken at the 25. Going on by number 20 for Fremd. And we're getting ready to go on offense with the Vikings.
New quarterback this year for Fremd, Cordell Finley. He's a junior, 5'11", 170 pounds. Has been running well and passing well, running the offense well. Set up in a spread formation with 3 receivers wide right. Finley back for the snap from center.
And there's a timeout. Delay of game, Fremd. Actually, a timeout with the Vikings. So evidently seeing something they didn't like by the Hoffman Estates defense. Had to talk it over.
Teams scout each other well, and Hoffman put some looks out there that appeared to be well positioned for the Fremd offense, and they've taken a timeout to revise a few things. Well, Finley gets the snap.
Handoff to the motion man.
That's Jawan Gaines, who had a big outing last week against Buffalo Grove, scoring 4 touchdowns, including one on a 77-yard run. He's actually a wide receiver, but in the spread formation, you wind up getting the wide receivers involved in the running game quite a bit.
Handoff up the middle. Maybe a couple yards there.
Flags all over the place.
Looked like a late hit on that.
2 flags thrown near the football. Preliminary signal is personal foul against the Hawks.
Personal foul, Hoffman Estates. There's a 15-yard walk-off coming. A very ignorant penalty. Hoffman had defended that play well and was coming up with a 3rd and 5 or 6, and now they've given up a 1st and 10. Move the ball close to midfield.
Starting out with some mistakes here, but on the whole, the Hoffman defense has played pretty well this year.
He's back to throw, looks right, floats it out to number 14. It's caught. Across the 40 in Hoffman Estates territory, a 1st down. That was Kenneth Like.
Kenneth Like, yeah, a junior wide receiver, 6'3", 185 pounds, who also sees some action at defensive back.
Another handoff up the middle, breaks through, and he's going to score.
Right through.
Number 27 takes it to the house.
Burkett, their running back. He saw quite a bit of action last year. He's a 5'9", 186-pound senior. Breaks it right up the middle, and Fremd is on the scoreboard. We're just barely underway. We have only 59 seconds for that drive. Assisted by a few very unnecessary penalties on the part of the Hoffman defense.
Kick is up and it's good. So Fremd jumps out to the early 7-0 lead.
Well, not the best way for Hoffman to start, considering that the best part of the Fremd performance so far this year, their offense has been good, but their defense has been extraordinarily good. So we get our first look at the Fremd defense. Meanwhile, the Hoffman offense has been pretty good this year. It's been averaging over 300 yards a game, so they may give Fremd more of a challenge than some of the opponents so far this season.
Hoffman lining up for the kickoff. We'll see what Hoffman Estates can do on offense.
Hoffman has averaged 315 yards per game so far this year on offense, and 193 rushing and 121 passing.
So JT Coldrup ready to kick it off here for the Vikings. Kick is up and the whistle blows. Play is blown dead. Vikings are offsides, so they'll move it back 5 yards and re-kick it. The Hawks had caught that ball in play. We're ready for a run back. This should make it even more returnable.
We saw the Hoffman offense worked very methodically against Prospect a couple of weeks ago in a home victory for the Hoffman Hawks. They won that game over Prospect 22-0.
There's the kick again. Taking about the 5 again. Tackled just shy of the 30-yard line.
Will Cage on the return there. One of their all-purpose wide receivers returning the kickoff there. The quarterback is Jeff Mays for Hoffman, and he's passed for 524 yards on the year. Here they are in a spread formation. Mays.
Reverse.
Here's a reverse.
Pitch to number
pitch.
9. Picks up about 7 yards.
That was Michael Barris, who plays both ways, taking the pitch and going to his right. Picks up a nice gain on first down, brings up second down and 3.
7-yard gain for Hoffman Estates, 2nd and 3.
Now we've got an empty backfield except for the quarterback, Mays. And
Mays
he
keeps it.
elects to run with it, and he looks like he's got the first down.
He does. Out to about the 42-yard line. So Hoffman Estates having luck early on the ground. 2 runs.
2
delivers
runs
the
very
first down.
effective, and that's been the strength of well, the Fremd defense has been strong all the way around, but especially on run defense.
Rolling to his right, throws it out, and misses his man at the 45. That pass intended for number 9. That was Mike Barris again.
Jeff Mays moving on the far sideline. That pass ball is incomplete.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Fremd defense, as we look out on it, it's not it doesn't have overwhelming size, but they look athletic.
Throws it over the middle, completes it to his tight end, it looks like,
Mays
for a first down.
got rid of that just in time. Fremd was putting on quite a rush that time, and some blitzing involved in it. And Mays was perceptive, saw it coming, and got rid of the ball very quickly, and that brings up a first down for the Hawks at the 46-yard line of Fremd.
Number 80, Andrew Vesper on the reception. And it looks like Fremd may have jumped there. Yes, encroachment on Fremd. So there's 5 yards for the Hawk offense. Bring up 1st and 5. So Hoffman Estates looking to answer here. Hands it off to the motion man, cuts it up. And he's close to the first down. We'll have to see where they spot it. So it looks like he's just a little bit short there.
4-yard gain on the play.
So 2nd and about 1.
Red offense.
Takes to the motion
Quarterback
man,
Mays
keeper.
will take it, and he's got the first down with ease.
And more. He's out to about the 30.
Hoffman moving the ball very well in the early going here against this Fremd defense, which has been exceptionally strong in the first 4 games. certainly says something for the execution and for their blocking, the offensive line.
Mays rolling to his right, puts it up, and it is caught. That was number 3 on the reception. Dante Cleveland, rather.
Yeah, he's a 6'3", 235-pound junior who is also the H-back at times. Sometimes he plays tight end, as he did in that situation. So Hoffman continues to move the ball impressively in the early going here.
First and 10 from about the 12-yard line. Takes the handoff again, keeper up the middle. Picks up 2 or 3 yards there. Like about 2-yard pickup. So 2nd and 8 coming up.
Second and 9.
Strictly a spread, 5 receivers spread, 3 left, 2 right. Now one moves over. Mays throwing the football.
Oh, off the hands of his intended receiver, number 9. Just led him a little bit too much there. Wasn't able to catch up to it. Mike Barry's.
This flex defense puts a little more emphasis on rushing the passer and having a concentration of players in the box, and it's a little vulnerable to the spread. And what we're seeing here early is Hoffman using the spread all the time, and this time there's 1 running back. There's been none on several occasions. Here's Mays throwing to his left.
Oh, through the hands of his receiver.
Almost caught in the left corner of the end zone there.
Intended for number 11.
That brings up 4th down.
So it looks like Hoffman's going to go for the field goal here from defense, able to stiffen and keep the Hawks out of the end zone. Number 13, Keegan Pierce, puts it up. And it's good. So the Hawks get on the board, scoring 3.
So with their first drive, they just about equal the per game average that Fremd has given up so far this year. Coming into this game, they had average per game only 3.25, 3.25 points per game. And here on the first drive, Hoffman marches down the field, kicks a field goal, and puts 3 points on the board. So an impressive way for Hoffman to start out against this Fremd defense.
But when the Hawks got in the red zone, they got rid of the run that had got them there. So a couple incomplete passes and then the field goal. So the Hawks getting ready to kick it off here. Short kick, hits at the 20, scooped up about the 15, and returned out to about the 25-yard line.
Jeff Gill on the return for
Fremd took only 59 seconds to score on the opening drive of the game.
And that on a long run. So we'll see what happens here.
So we've seen a fair amount of offense from a team that comes in number 1 in the Mid-Suburban League, Fremd, on defense, and Hoffman on defense is near the top.
Looks like encroachment on the Hawks. Maybe somebody lined up in the neutral zone there, so that'll cost them 5.
Hoffman continues to have a little problem with some of the penalties on defense when their defensive unit is in.
So hands off. Now he keeps it.
This is Finley
off the left side for a first down.
Cordell Finley, the quarterback there on a keeper play, picking up the first down and bringing the ball out to about the 43 yard line.
Again, a keeper around the left side. Shakes off a tackler, or 2 tacklers, and is another first down. Now he stepped out a little before then. They're going to give him about 9 yards on that carry. So the Fremd running game also picking up good yardage. Both teams able to run on each other. Low snap, and the quarterback is going to be sacked. It's taken down at the 45.
Number 52 for Hoffman, that shot in there. That's Javante Brownlee, defensive lineman. Senior, 5'11", 235-pound lineman. Very quick on his pursuit there, and he drops Finley for a loss.
Loss of 6 brings up a 3rd and 7. Back looking to his left, rolling
Finley
to his
again,
right.
Looking. Now he takes off and runs again.
Looks like he's got the first down out to about the 46 of Hoffman Estates.
Really accelerates quickly and picks up the first down there from pump faking the pass and then just tucks it in and picks up the first down very easily.
Good coverage by the secondary, forcing the quarterback to scramble for that yardage. Hands it off, reverse.
Very well executed reverse there.
Up to about the 30. Good thing they handed that off because the original ball carrier was going to be tackled for a loss. So another first down for the Fremd Vikings. Ball's at the 28 of the Hawks.
Fremd Vikings showing some real finesse on offense, some deception. There's two running backs with Finley. Gives it and run it to the right.
Oh, and he's able to shake some tackles and heads for the end zone. Touchdown.
That was Jawan Gaines for the touchdown. He scored 4 touchdowns last week and gets one right there. So Fremd has struck again very quickly. Had the ball twice and they've gone down the field rapidly.
Both times able to break off big runs for the touchdown. Bounced off of about 3 tacklers and into the end zone. So the kick is no good.
It stays 13-3 with 5:03 left in the first quarter. We've seen 3 possessions and 3 scores so far. The which is a little surprising in light of the quality of the defenses both teams have. I thought we'd see a little more of a defensive struggle here, but it's the offenses have really asserted themselves in the early going here.
Fremd able to keep Hoffman out of the end zone so far. That's the 10-point lead.
Fremd has preserved its touchdown limiting record for the season at 1 touchdown so far for the entire season. And that was in the first game. So they haven't allowed a touchdown now for almost 13 quarters. Got 5 minutes left to go here, so we'll see if Hoffman can put one on the board.
There's the kick, high kick. Taken just outside the end zone. Able to break 1 tackle. Brought down about the 23-yard line. Marking it at the 24-yard line. So Hoffman Estates making most of their last yardage on the running play. We'll see what happens here. Had trouble executing the pass. Quarterback keeper then pitches it out.
Try to turn the corner, and they get a little bit there on the right.
That was number 6, Chatty Bright. Looks like he picked up about 4 yards on it. More than it looked like on the option there.
2nd and 6.
Rolling to his right. Hits number 11 and out to the right side, and he's tackled across the 35. That'll give the Hawks a first down.
Brandon Hall, who's a nice big receiver for Hoffman. He's 5'6", 195-pound target. He's a senior.
So a new set of downs for the Hawks. Draw play. Number 6 able to cut through and out to about midfield.
Do a good job of shredding the Fremd defense on that and picking up the first down.
Teddy Betray. So back-to-back plays. Betray gives them 2 first downs. Rolling right, throwing over the head of his intended receiver. Dante Cleveland would have had to climb the ladder to go up and get that one. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. From defender had a chance to make a play on that to intercept it. Wasn't able to. Empty backfield, back to pass again. Oh, intended for number 3, Dante Cleveland, not able to pull it in. Pass a little bit low, came in at the knees. Brings up 3rd and 10. So again, Hoffman Estates moving the ball well on the ground and moving to the pass. Probably another passing play here at 3rd and 10.
And here's Mays.
Keeping it.
Keeping it. He's got...
It's going to be short. Out to about the 44-yard line of the Vikings. So the Hawks are going to have to punt it away.
But they moved the ball some, and so far I'm impressed with the Hoffman offense and what they've been able to do in relation to the way this Fremd defense has played thus far this year. They've really shut down teams.
Oh, blocked punt.
A blocked punt, and that's gathered in, and he's going for the end zone.
Touchdown.
There's a blocked punt last
88. Or 86, Nathan Hanyon. So the Fremd offense not even needing to take the field. Fremd extends their lead 19-3.
In spite of some good play by Hoffman, they find themselves well behind suddenly here with this blocked punt. Added on to two quick drives by the Fremd offense. Between the special teams and the Fremd offense, they're building up a good lead tonight, and their defense is playing well, but not perhaps quite as dominant as the first two games.
Kick is up and it's good.
So with 2:36 to go, we've got a 20-3 game. And Fremd, at least on the scoreboard, they seem to be picking up where they left off. The last few games have been very one-sided, especially last week in particular, where they won 49-0. Now Hoffman will get another opportunity to move the ball against this Fremd defense and try to do something that nobody's done since Lake Zurich did it in the first game of the year, and that's score a touchdown. But they have moved the ball at times fairly impressively here tonight. And if they can continue to do that and put some points on the board, they can perhaps get back in this game.
The kick is into the end zone for a touchback, so Hoffman will start at their own 20. Hoffman Estates needs to score on this one or risk being left way behind. Fremd employing the bend but don't break defense. Fremd hitting on all three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. Didn't look like either of the receivers were ready for that. He kind of split the short and the wide receiver. The ball falls between the two of them. Didn't seem like either one of them were really looking for that pass. So 2nd and 10. Hoffman Estates doesn't need to get rid of their running game. That it has worked well for them.
Fremd in a 4-2 on defense. There's the rush. Number 57 getting in there. That's Matt McCabe, defensive lineman, 6'2", 215, a junior, and tipping that ball. Brings up 3rd and 10. Still at the 20-yard line.
Maybe a bit of panic by the Hawk offense. abandoning the run and going strictly to the pass.
No running backs in the backfield right now. Here comes number 6 in a crossing mode.
And he's down. He's sacked.
He's sacked. Last week they got 6 sacks in the game against Buffalo Grove, and that was a very respectable Buffalo Grove team.
So he's taken down at the 14-yard line for a loss of 6, and the Hoffman Estates is going to give it right back to the Fremd Vikings.
I have not been able to see any unusual flex type lineup so far on the part of Fremd in their defense.
That one,
a bad punt.
Picked up at the 40.
There's flags down. And still going with the ball is Gaines. He has tremendous speed, and he's out of bounds.
Looked a bit like a ping pong ball out there, just bouncing off tacklers.
3 flags down around the 35-yard line. There's the call. Holding, so that'll be walked off from wherever it happened, wherever it occurred.
Showing some good bursts.
So the block in the back sends the Vikings back to the Hawk 47. Well, their start 1st and 10, 1:32 left in the first period.
Which is still fairly good field position, and they lead 20-3. So Fremd off to another good start. They're 3-1 this year. They lost a very close game to Lake Zurich in the opener, 10-7.
Makes the handoff. He's back.
Here's Finley looking. Now he unloads it. It's incomplete.
So the Hawk defense able to get some pressure that time.
Finley really light on his feet, moves well, and makes it difficult for the rush to catch up with him. Hoffman put on some rush that time, but they couldn't get to him.
Hands off up the middle.
This is Burchett.
Tackled
and he picks up a first down at the about the 32-yard line.
Another handoff up the middle. Nothing there. And Hoffman Estates recovered.
Looks like Hoffman's got it.
They needed that.
Well, to stay with this Fremd team, they're probably going to need some turnovers and perhaps some good special teams play and good all-around play, really, to try to stay with a team like the one that Fremd has this year.
And the Hawks are going to have to go back to their run. The run was working for them, and they've gotten away from it.
Working. Their original game plan may have been to pass a lot, but certainly the run was working, and if something works, you know, don't fix it, is the old saying.
That's right. Now back again for another pass. Oh, hit him in the hands.
Dropped there. Brandon Hall just couldn't hold that one, but it was a nicely thrown pass by Mays, but just couldn't hold on.
That's a couple of those that have been dropped that could have been receptions. Draw play up the middle. Swarmed under after a pickup of about 4 yards out to about the 37, 38-yard line.
That'll bring up 3rd down and about 5.
Interesting to see what they go with here, whether they run it again or try to pass it. No backs in the backfield. And he just, again, a little bit high for Cleveland.
Quite a bit of pressure that time, and Mays had to drop way behind the line of scrimmage there, go very deep, and then try to unload a pass. And he was running when he was throwing and didn't get off a particularly good pass, and that brings up 4th down. Good speed in this Fremd defensive line. They really go after the quarterback.
Hoffman Estates is going to have to go back to the run. Little side leg kick takes a Hoffman Estates roll down to about the 22-yard line.
Fremd will go back on offense. They had a drive going the last time and then fumbled it away down at about the 25 or so.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. Fremd leading 20-3.
Hoffman Estates has at least gotten on the board, something that the previous 2 opponents did not do. However, they've only got 3 points, and there's still only 1 touchdown scored on Fremd all year, and that was by Lake Zurich in the first game.
And Lake Zurich, a perennial high school football power. They generally go deep into the playoffs.
They've been there. They were in the championship game last year. Last 5-6 years, they've won a championship and finished second twice. So that's a truly outstanding program at Lake Zurich, and Fremd seeks out good opponents to challenge their players, and they've been playing Lake Zurich now for a number of years, usually in the first game of the season. This year they almost came away with a victory that went down 10-7.
Lake Zurich always a very good barometer of how good your team is. So the Vikings back out on offense. 1st and 10 at their own 23. Oh, bad snap over the quarterback's head. And he's able to get rid of it. Oh, knocked away by the defender.
Caught, and it's racing down the sideline. Oh boy, what a incredible play that was.
Number 18.
Absolutely incredible play. Finley was almost sacked, and then the ball was touched and
bounced into the arms of Austin Speedwack.
Speedwack, a junior wide receiver, gathered it in and took it the rest of the way home. And
it looked like a good defensive play for Hoffman Estates. The defensive back
Fremd
got
scores
a hand on it.
Fast again.
And the kick is up, and it's good.
So that time they score on a tip pass after their quarterback was chased deep behind the line of scrimmage and got the ball away. So they scored very rapidly. They scored earlier on a blocked punt, so they've had some lightning strikes for touchdowns here, and they lead 27-3. Just at the very start of the second quarter, 27 points on the board already. 2 of them with big, very big plays.
Hoffman Estates able to move the ball on their first 2 possessions, but not after that. They've gone to the pass and they've gone 3 and out.
Well, the only big mistake Fremd made tonight was the fumble on their one drive that didn't produce points. That drive got fairly deep into Hoffman territory before the fumble occurred.
So here's the kickoff. It's up and it's deep. Taken about the 1-yard line. And out across the 20 to about the 27-yard line. So Hoffman Estates down by 24. They may need to just go to the pass now, but just has not been effective for them.
Lou Sponsel, the head coach of Fremd, played at Fremd under Donatucci, I believe, back in about '93 or so. Early in the Donatucci years. So here's Hoffman lining up on offense with no running backs.
And flags fly. Illegal procedure against the Hawks. That'll move them back 5. So 1st and 15 coming.
Now the Hawks are so far behind, they feel the pressure to throw the ball. Hard to stay with a running game when you're down 27-3, although their running game was breaking some nice gains from time to time.
There's
a run right here.
Handoff.
Finds a little room.
The Hoffman Estates kind of gave up on the run when they were behind 10-3. So Hoffman Estates picks up about 6 yards. They get the penalty back and just a little bit more. And 2nd and 9 coming up here.
There's a lot of time left. It's not too. There's really no reason to press the panic button. If Hoffman could slow the pace down and just have a lot of running and put a nice drive together, it would be a good confidence builder and put them in position to do something.
Rolling to his
Here's
right.
Mays rolling out. The pass is overthrown. Good coverage on the part of Fremd, both in front and in back of that receiver.
Intended for number 24, Tyler Biddle, but overthrown. Bring up 3rd and 9.
There's Haas and Mayer on the coverage that last play.
So Hoffman again finding themselves in 3rd and long and maybe forced to throw. So looking left, throws, caught. Looks like he's got enough for the 1st down there. Number 11, Brandon Hall on the reception there. So the Hawks able to convert that, move the chains. They're only completing 1 out of every 4 or 5 passes. Handoff, we're on the left side. Number 6 brought down after a gain of about 6. Chetty Bitre. So the run reappearing here in the Hawk offense. And again working
See
well.
a little bit of this flex maneuvering on the part of Fremd now, with one of their linemen assuming more of a linebacker stance and moving around a little bit.
So 1st down for the Hawks there. The Hawk offense back in business. Once again, the run effective for the Hawks, putting it up deep down the field, diving
Completion
grab,
there.
and he's got it on the 20.
I believe that's Hall, 11, I think. That's the 6'5", 195 receiver way downfield, but there's a flag down on the play. Currently against Hoffman, that wiped that one off the board and put Hoffman back.
We are in the press box.
Must have been a holding penalty from the looks of it here. We'll see what the signal is.
Sorry, what was that?
Brings it way, way back. It's going to be
It's pretty obvious.
second and
Oh, okay, thanks. Bye.
Ball is pushed back to the 34-yard line. First and 25.
first and 25.
A very costly penalty for the Hawks. Rolling to his left. And not able to connect with his receiver.
That was Hall again. He couldn't handle that one. Throwing rather hard, and I think it may have been possibly a little bit out of bounds.
Jeff Mays' pass is incomplete.
So second and 25.
25.
So 3 receivers to the right. 1 to the left. Man in motion.
Jeff Mays looking for the snap.
Draw play.
Gives the ball to number 6. That's
Chetty Betray.
Betray.
He picks up 5 or 6 yards. Still going to be third and about 20.
5 yards, third and 20.
So probably looking at a pass here.
There's a
Looking left, completes it to number 11, who falls down. Back at about the original line of scrimmage, that's Brandon Hall. Had a little more running room if he could have kept his feet. So the
Now-
Hawks will have to punt again.
Fremd, last few plays has gone to a flex set where they have 3 down linemen, and Nathan Hanlon, 86, has gone into sort of he's like a blitzing linebacker position toward the center of the line, but he's standing up and looking into the backfield.
So there's the punt, another low one. Good roll for the Hawks. Out of bounds inside the 20 at about the 19-yard line. So a little longer field for the Vikings to maneuver this time.
Fremd will go back on offense. I believe the only time they've been stopped was the fumble.
That is correct.
And they lead 27-3. There's 7 minutes, 37 seconds to go in the half. Here goes Finley looking, and he gets it away, and it's complete.
About 2 yards.
Finley throws very well on the run, and he's very light on his feet and quick, and stays away from he's hard for the defenders to catch. Hoffman again with a fairly decent pass rush there, but just couldn't catch up with Finley.
Number 7, Matt Lee on that reception.
Here's Finley going around the right side and picking up a first down and then some.
Out to about the 45-yard line. Just both teams having a lot of luck on the ground. Fremd especially ripping off some really big gainers. Again, the fake handoff and the keeper.
Finley scoots right through, picks up another first down. He's really...
Nick Bossong on the carry there.
That was Bossong?
Yeah. So 1st and 10 inside the 40, fumble. And there's a flag.
Bossong is a quarterback. And for a while he was the starter, and then Finley was brought in as the starter, but Bossong is in the game right now, relieving Finley. I do see
a personal foul against the Hawks will cost them 15.
Looks like Finley is back out on the field, number 3. Or is that Bossong? A little hard to see the numerals when you're looking at the side of the player.
Hand off up the middle.
It's number 2, Bossong,
is still in there.
Is still in the game. He looks like he's got pretty good speed also. He's a senior, 5'11", 175. There's hardly any difference in size between these two quarterbacks. They're both 5'11", and Bossong weighs 5 pounds more.
Bossong back to pass, puts it up. Got a man and knocked away. It may have been pass interference on that.
If it is, that'll be walked off from the line of scrimmage, giving Fremd a first down.
And it is.
Nick Bossong looking for Kyle Lewis in the end zone. He was dragged down without the football. That's a pass interference penalty against the Hawks.
So first down
Vikings.
On the pass interference. Hand off up the middle. So picked up 4 or 5 yards there.
That's, for Fremd tonight, that's known as a short gain, 4 or 5 yards.
Ball about the 10-yard line. Again up the middle.
Inside the 10.
Not much there, picked up maybe 2 yards.
That may have been Cody Patino on the carry there, another running back seeing some action here. He's 5'8", 162.
Timeout. Hand off the right side, out near the first down.
That was Cody Patino again, and picks up
he's going to be a little short.
Short gain, picks up a decent gain actually, but it is just short of the first down, so it brings up
4th and 1.
4th and 1, and there's a 100% chance that Fremd is going for it as they line up.
And hand off up the middle.
Hoffman closes pretty fast there, but I think
we'll see where they mark it. Fremd didn't need much, and Hoffman didn't give him much.
Maybe calling for a measurement here.
Looks like they are. Hoffman really needs a stop here to keep this from being a total blowout. And they're short. Hoffman Estates held them.
So Hoffman with an impressive stand there, holding down this strong running attack of Fremd and preventing them from converting that into a first down. With 4th and 1 down at around the
4-yard line.
4-yard line or so. That was quite impressive that they were able to stop them there.
So Hoffman Estates with a very long field, 4:14 left in the first half here.
Trailing 27-3.
Empty backfield, looking left, complete. So an 8-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 2. And pass complete out on the left side, out to about the 25-yard line. So number 80 on the reception, Andrew Vesper. So the Hawks getting it going through the air now. Rolling to his right.
Rolling and looking.
Complete.
Scott.
Out to number 9.
That's
Mike
Barries.
Mike Barries. Another first down.
Mays coming into this game was about right around a 30, just under a 33% completion percentage. I think he may be a little better than that tonight, perhaps. For 524 yards, a little over 100 yards a game.
Rolling to his left, puts it up, intercepted.
Off.
Number 14 takes it back to the 25.
Brought all the way down to the 25 there. So
Kenneth Like with the interception.
Just as it looked, as Mays was getting into some rhythm and starting to connect, he gets picked off, and Fremd has great field possession. With 3:17 to go, plenty of time and great field position, leading 27-3.
And Hoffman Estates again abandoning the run. They had some decent field position there and then turned it over on the interception.
2 real big plays that really hurt Hoffman tonight. The block punt and then the long pass that was off of a tip pass accounted for 14 of the points here. So this could be 13 or 14-3 and be a much closer game without those 2 real big spectacular plays by Fremd.
So a penalty on the return against the Vikings pushes them back to the 46-yard line. And off up the middle, picks up 3 or 4. So 2nd and 6 coming up here.
Bosong again.
Pass thrown behind the receiver, but able to pull it in. That's number 81. Austin Schwantz able to pull that in.
Austin Schwantz. Vikings pick up a first down at the 36.
3 receivers to the left this time.
Again up the middle, not much there.
Wonder if it's like Finley is out on the field as a receiver right now. He's the
number 56 down for the Hawks. An injury, that's Joseph Vargas. let you take it.
A big defensive lineman for Hoffman. 6'2", 230-pound junior. Vargas being helped off the field. Looks like perhaps an ankle has been twisted a little bit. Only 2:24 now in the half.
So 2nd and 8. Takes the handoff, swings it
There's
out to
Finley.
the left to number 1.
He started the game at quarterback, catching a pass this time and picking up a lot of yardage with it. That'll move the chains and stop the clock for a little bit with 2:07 remaining in the half. Ball on the, looks like about the 23-yard line. Well, Bozong with two backs. Throws down to Finley. Finley's got it. He's in there for a touchdown. He opened up quite a bit of separation between himself and the defender that time. He's got blazing speed and gathers in the ball from the backup quarterback, I guess, or the alternate quarterback. And Fremd is on the board again with a quick strike pass play right there.
That puts them up 33-3, opening up the 30-point differential here. And what started out as a competitive game is just getting away from the Hawks. Kick is up, and it's good. So Fremd extends the lead to 34-3.
The differential is due mainly to really excellent play on the part of Fremd. This Fremd team appears to be a team that has the speed and finesse and execution to go deep into the playoffs this year. If they can avoid injuries and continue to play at this level. 34-3, and we've got 1:43 left in the half. Last week they finished the half up 35-0. So Fremd is really playing good football this season, especially the last few games here.
They're able to both run and pass effectively.
The defense has allowed a total of 16 points thus far this year in what's close to 4.5 football games right now.
So the kick is away, comes down about the 10-yard line.
The flag
comes in at the end.
It comes late like that. Sometimes it's piling on or personal foul.
Holding against Hoffman.
Holding against Hoffman, turns out to be.
That has got to be about the cutest ball boy I've ever seen.
I think the smallest one I've ever seen. I've gone to a lot of high school football games. I've never seen somebody that small on the field.
Looks like he's about 4 years old, but doing a very good job. So the Hawks definitely got to get something going.
That leaves the Hawks with 80 yards to go and only a minute 36 or so.
Hand off up the middle, going nowhere.
Fremd defense seems to be picking up steam as the game goes on.
Hoffman, 2 receivers split out wide to the left, 2 to the right. Back in the backfield, takes the handoff. Number 6 able to turn the corner. It's out to about the 27-yard line. Chetty Betray again.
Betray up to the 27-yard line, 3rd and 3.
So 3rd and about 3 coming. Handoff again to Betray. And he's out about the 30. That would be enough for a first down. We'll see where they mark it. And it is a first down. So Betray with 2 good runs around the right side there. 46 seconds left in the half. I'm going to give them those runs, figuring they're not going to be able to run the length of the field in 46 seconds.
Fremd just rushing 3 men, and there's about 7 back on pass defense right now.
Handoff again to Betray, not much there. Picked up maybe a yard. So the clock continues to run. Maybe they'll get in one more play. "15 seconds. No, it doesn't look like they're going to even try.
Looks like the clock is going to run out here momentarily with the score 34-3. Fremd with quite a showing. They're assisted by 2 real big plays, a blocked punt and a very long pass play that was off of a tipped pass, but constant pressure. I think only 2 drives were stopped all first half, one by a fumble and one when they didn't make it on 4 and 1. Otherwise, they put points on the board every other time, and their defense is doing what it's done all year, playing very well and holding Hoffman to 3 points, which was, I believe, on their first drive of the game. And the defense of Fremd seems to be picking up momentum as the game goes on here. Rather than wearing down, they seem to be even faster and stronger as the game has continued. So 34-3 at the half. Fremd quite impressive, and Hoffman's playing respectable, but Fremd is just showing that it's got a team that might have the qualities that would take it well into the playoffs this year.
right, we're back here for the second half. From still leading 34-3, from getting ready to kick the ball off. Hoffman Estates has a long uphill battle ahead of them in the second half here. So the ball taken about the 5. Big hit out at about the 26-yard line.
That was number 25, Will Cage, again. 6 foot, 175-pound wide receiver, defensive back, fielding that kickoff and bringing it out to the 25, 26-yard line.
So the Hawk offense coming on, having talked it over on the sidelines. Okay, back to pass, swings it out. Oh, and fumbled and dropped. Number 11.
That's Hall.
Brandon Hall not able to hang on to that. Just hit him right in the hands and he dropped it. 2nd and 10. So another empty backfield for the Hawks. Man in motion. Keeper around the left side. So out past the 30, picks up about 5 yards. So they're going to give him 6, 3rd and 4 coming up. So rolling to his right. Throws, got his receiver, complete. Number 24,
got the first down on
Tyler
that.
Biddle. So 1st and 10 for Hoffman Estates.
Hoffman has been able to move the ball at times, but just only the first time did it result in points. Here they are with a first down.
Hands it off to the motion man. There's nothing there, may have lost a yard.
There again, we saw Fremd using some version of the flex with Nathan Hanlon, number 86. He's 6 foot, 196 pounder. Rather than being in a down position, he's sort of like a linebacker that's right just behind the lineman.
So empty backfield again,
Like
man in motion.
3-man defensive line with 1 extra linebacker. And that was the flex man that got in there. That was 86 coming in there. That time he charged in and he disrupted things.
Just able to knock that ball away. Not able to catch up with it. So 3rd and 11 coming up here.
That time the flex caused some mix-up in the blocking assignments, which resulted in that in the flex man 86 pouring right in. Flex man is just left of the nose guard right now.
Takes the handoff, back to pass. Oh, throws it an interception.
Under pressure again, and it's intercepted. Another big play. This one's going all the way down. There's flags thrown. Another big play for Fremd, even if penalty goes against them, it's still a big play, but let's see what happened here.
Number 13 for Fremd being helped off the field. That's Jake Haas.
And he's a sophomore defensive back.
So a block in the back penalty against the Vikings. That'll bring the ball back.
It's assessed from the point, and depending on where it was, it's going to put them back to about the 39-yard line, whereas they would have been down around the 15 or so. Still good field position, and they have possession of the football with 9:52 remaining in the third quarter. Here's more of a power formation with 3 backs in the backfield, and big run off right tackle there. Number 32, Cody Patinaw, picks up a good gain on that. For first down at the 21. Same power formation, 1 running back deep, two beside the quarterback.
Pass out to the right.
Finley again at quarterback, and he connects on a pass. Throws it out in the right flank to number 19 out there. That's Kyle Lewis.
So the Vikings knocking on the door again.
Power formation again. This is...
And flags fly. They're blowing that dead.
Finley was ready to run the keeper, but there was motion on that play.
I'll start. So a little bit of help there for the Hawks.
First and goal from the 14.
Okay, looking, pumps.
And here goes Finley, and he gets a nice gain right up the middle. He pumped and pulled it down and took off right up the middle for good yardage.
About the 6-yard line.
Puts the ball inside the 10, marked at the 6-yard line.
So now it's second and goal from the 6. Fremd already leading 34-3 and knocking on the door right now. Here's this power formation again.
3 backs in the backfield. The hands it off up the middle.
The handoff, and the players are signaling a touchdown, and now the referee does. And Fremd adds 6 points.
So that
makes it 40-3. And they'll line up for the kick now. With 8:36 remaining in the third quarter, so we've got a lot of time in this game. What might happen here fairly soon, we're getting awfully close to it. If Fremd scores again, we'd have a running clock here. If they score and Hoffman doesn't score.
The kick is up and it's good.
It's good, so that makes it 41, and we've got a 38-point margin here. And anytime it goes to 40 in high school football, we go to a running clock. You don't stop it on incomplete passes. Don't stop it on out of bounds, or most things. A timeout will stop the clock, an injury will stop the clock, but for the most part, you have a running clock, and the game disappears rather quickly when that happens. Last week we had a running clock with Barrington and Wheeling, and the second half played out very quickly. But we're at a 38-point margin right now with 8 minutes and 36 seconds left in the third quarter. And at this stage of the Mid-Suburban League West season, it certainly appears that Barrington and Fremd are showing are opening up some real difference between themselves and the rest of the league right now. Here's the return by Cage again. He's out of bounds at about the 34.
So a decent field position for the Hawks as they take over on this possession.
The Hawks have been on the wrong side of some big plays here tonight that have made this score mount. And of course, once you get behind, then you're throwing all the time and you leave yourself open to more interceptions and problems of that sort. This Fremd team is also an excellent pass rushing team, and they make it very difficult for a quarterback to conduct a passing offense. Here's Mays on a reverse flip, and it's going very well for number 24. He gets the first down. That's Tyler Biddle, wide receiver, taking it around and picking up the first down. Mays, only one in the backfield. It's tipped up again. Mays is not a real tall quarterback. He's not short, but he's 5'11", so some of these big linemen rush in with their arms up. It's hard to toss over them. Penalty walked off against Fremd.
Penalty against the Vikings was defensive holding.
That was defensive holding was the call on that one. There's Hoffman has piled up some running yardage tonight. Fremd has a defense that has really held opponents down on the running game. Last week it was -16 against Buffalo Grove, and for the season they've allowed only 60. It moves it down to about the 9-yard line there. Hoffman continues to pile up some yardage here, but so far only 3 points registered on the scoreboard. We've got quite an opportunity here down at the 8-yard line with a first down. So first and goal at the 8. Here's Mays. He's keeping it. He's keeping the ball, and there's a flag here again.
Jeff Mays around the right side. There is a flag on the play.
There's a flag on that play, and it's against Hoffman. Moving back, they were in business there with a first down at the 8-yard line. Now let's see where this winds up.
So that could frustrate this drive. That makes it penalties have hurt Hoffman on offense tonight. That's part of the reason they're stuck at 3 points at this stage of the game. So that it looks like it's going to be second and about. Looks like the ball is about on the 20-yard line. Here's Mays. His receiver was pretty well covered there by
Receiver was looking for a flag on that penalty, did not get it. So it's going to be 3rd and 20.
Hoffman with an empty backfield again. 5 receivers. Here comes one across. And he takes the ball. Number 6. That's
out of bounds.
Vitry again.
About the 8-yard line on that.
So now it's
Fourth
and goal from about where they started this drive before the penalties and everything. 4th and about 8 to go. 7. They're showing 7.
Timeout called by Hoffman Estates.
So with the best opportunity to put some points on the board, and for Hoffman in a long time, we have timeout, and the situation is 4th and 7.
And probably a good timeout. They don't want to waste this play.
6:53 left in the 3rd quarter.
So Hoffman Estates definitely wanting to score on this. This is their last chance. It's 4th down, 7 yards to go. 6:53 left to go. So the Vikings are back out on the field. Here come the Hawks. Hoffman Estates lining up, 4th and goal. Looking left, throwing left.
Pass.
Almost intercepted there. But the ball will go over on downs to the Vikings. So the Vikings able to keep the Hawks out of the end zone yet again, and the ball goes over. So with 6:48 left in the 3rd period, 41-3, the Vikings lead.
Fremd preserves their long stretch of no touchdowns scored.
Rolling to the right. So picks up 2 or 3 yards on the play.
For a 2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8.
Back looking to his right. Just had to throw that ball away. Rolling to the right, it was a short field anyway.
I think that was Bozong in there at quarterback again. Nick Bozong. Two quarterbacks are almost identical size, and the 2 on Bozog's jersey looks like a 1 if he stands sideways. Here he goes around left end. The flag down.
There's a Hoffman man down on the field.
Nick Basson kicks off with the football. There is a flag at the 20-yard line.
So a flag and a player down. From players motioning to the sideline for the trainers to come out. So we've got a penalty timeout on the field. Sorry, an injury timeout on the field. 5:53 left.
Third and 8.
So we've got a holding penalty being marked off against Hoffman Estates. That'll give the Vikings a 1st and 10. And flags fly. Looks like Hoffman Estates jumped, and they did.
Hoffman has hurt themselves tonight with penalties. They've had more than they should have, really. A lot of offsides, motion. Here we go.
Okay, handoff. So picks up about 4 yards around the right side, bringing up 2nd and 1. So Fremd continuing to move, clock moving as well, and down to about 5 minutes. So hands off. And probably losing yards, number 4 for the Vikings. Nathan Notaro. So he lost about 3 yards, 3rd and 5 coming up.
Vikings lose 4 yards on that play. 3rd and 5.
Okay, back looking to his right.
That pass is going to be, was he in bounds or not? It was caught by the defender. He was in bounds. It's an interception for Hoffman Estates there.
Number 28, Cliff Eyring.
Nice catch on that one, and he gives Hoffman another opportunity here. Cliff Eyring, he's a 5'7", 170-pound defensive back, running back for Hoffman. So with 4:02 remaining, it's The score remains 41-3, and Hoffman has stopped that Fremd effort to put another touchdown on the board. Let's see if Hoffman can get another drive going. They made it all the way down to first and goal from the 8 on the previous drive, but weren't able to convert that to a touchdown.
Pass across the middle. Caught a. Just not able to hang on to that. Looked like he'd completed at about the 50. But incomplete.
Fremd defense reacts quickly, and there were, a lot of defenders around that football on that last play. There's very good team speed on this Fremd defense.
So 2nd and 10, hands it off.
Beatree again. He's got a nice gain. Hoffman has been able to run the ball fairly successfully, considering that Fremd came into this game holding opponents to, I believe it was about 67-yard average for running, and that's what it was, 67 yards, and I suspect that Hoffman has surpassed that.
Quarterback keeper on the right side slides down after about a 4-yard gain. When somebody's running.
Clock keeps ticking away, and we've got we're just over 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter now.
Hands off to the motion man, and he's out near a 1st down, about the 40-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. 1st down.
Well, if Hoffman had been able to avoid some of these big plays that Fremd, that's a nice pass for a completion there. I think that's Hall.
That's inside the 20.
Let's see, number 3, that was Cleveland.
Yes, Dante Cleveland.
He's another big receiver, 6'3", 235 pounds. Got some big athletes on this Hoffman Estates team. It's not a small football team. And it's a good football team, but they've been on the wrong side of a few big plays, and they've had a few too many penalties, and so they've fallen behind here tonight. But
quarterback keeper off the left side, picked up about 6 yards.
They have 3 wins, and they'll probably win again a few more before the season is over. They're back in scoring position again here in the red zone. This is where they've had trouble, though, in the past. The flag went down.
He's in, but there's a flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
The quarterback and the receiver ran into each other in the backfield. Illegal shift on Hoffman will bring that back. So that'll take the 6 points off the board.
That looks like it's going to be right around the 2nd and 8 or 9 yards.
Looks like 2nd and 9.
Hoffman Estates trying to put a touchdown on the board, something that nobody has done since the first game of the season. Here's Mays rolling out, and he had it, and it did bounced off the hands of his receiver in the end zone there. Ball was right to him, but it just didn't stick in his hands.
Diving attempt by the defender may have broken his concentration. 3rd and 9 coming up.
Mays alone in the backfield now. He completes a pass, and it's down, and it is into the end zone. He fell forward into the end zone, and that's number 3, Cleveland, I believe.
And he
on that reception.
Lost the ball when he hit, but had broken the plane, and so it is a touchdown.
Touchdown, and that's the first one since the first game of the season against Fremd.
So that makes it 41-9 with the extra point attempt coming.
That was...
Kick is up, and it's good.
It was an important touchdown for a whole bunch of reasons for Hoffman. For one thing, they probably avoid a running clock, which if you're behind and the clock starts running like that, you run out of time awfully quickly to do anything. So the score now 41-10. We're back to a 31-point margin. And Hoffman has the satisfaction of being on the board with a touchdown and having broken Fremd's streak of 3 games without allowing a touchdown. So with 1:12 remaining in the third quarter, it's 41-10. Hoffman has finally found the end zone after several attempts that got fairly close but were frustrated in the red zone.
So the Hawks to kick off here. Onside kick. Hoffman says they have it.
Hoffman, people are signaling that they have it. What's the referee coming up with?
Haven't seen an official call on it.
Looks like the Fremd defense is coming on or wait a second. The defense or offense?
Looks like the defense. So Hoffman must have recovered that. So Hoffman with a little bit of momentum.
Defense on the field there. Looks like Finley is now in on defense. He's played quarterback, he's played wide receiver, now he's playing cornerback.
Handoff up the middle.
Coach Sponzel doesn't want to have a fellow with the speed that Finley has standing on the sidelines.
A pickup of about 4 yards. Make it 2nd and 5. Betray on the carry. So 2nd and 6.
Here's Mays in the backfield by himself. Betray crosses. Mays looking, throws deep to the left.
Off the hands of the defender.
Good effort by Jim Haas. Can't come down with it. 3rd and 5.
So the quarterback goes.
Trying to get one back real quick there.
Screen over the middle to Cleveland, and
Cleveland's
picks
a
up big yardage.
big 6'3", 235-pound receiver who was hard to bring down there, and he piles up a lot of yardage with that reception.
1st and 10, about the 25-yard line. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Hoffman Estates scored on their last drive.
Hoffman has some
recovered their own onside and moving again.
Hoffman has some big linemen who have been doing some good blocking tonight. Zach Clark, 6'4", 275. Thomas Krawick, 6'2", 240 in the offensive line for Hoffman Estates.
Back to pass. Again, a short pass to number 80. Across the middle.
Screen pass there, and
Andrew Vesper with the reception.
On the inside screen, 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3.
that was an inside screen where they allowed a lot of the rushers to run fairly freely toward the quarterback and threw a little pass to the receiver slanting inside. Vitry again, he picks up a little bit.
Not much there up the middle.
3rd and 3 now. Broken up by Finley. Finley playing in his capacity as a defensive back. Got there very quickly, closed on that play, and knocked the ball away. Or, excuse me, that was Juwan Gaines. Juwan Gaines, number 1.
So quarterback pitch out around the left side. It's like another 1st down inside the 10-yard line. So 1st and goal from about the 9. Chetty Betray has the Hawks moving. So the Hawks coming to life here a little bit late, but they've got the offense clicking.
I would guess they've piled up more yardage than the typical average.
Up the middle, not a lot there.
Fremd came into this game holding opponents to a total yardage average of 151 yards, and I suspect that Hoffman has surpassed, they're either around that number right now or they're on track to surpass it.
And it looks like we've got a timeout here. Hoffman Estates wants to talk it over.
This is where they've had some trouble. They've had a couple of drives fizzle out in the red zone.
Second and 8 coming up, so they've got 3 plays to get it in the end zone.
Exactly 10 minutes of playing time showing on the clock as there's a timeout here. 41 to 10.
I'm going to back off the announcing and help Alexa with the camera work, so she can take most of it.
Okay. So here comes Hoffman out on the field again, getting ready to try to move in this time. They've got 2nd down and 8 to go. 2nd and 8, 2nd and goal from the 8. Mays is looking over the field. He's got one running back with him this time. He throws to the left, and it is just about caught. That was Hall that blazed across and curled in at an angle there and got hit with the ball right around the goal line there, but couldn't hang on to it. Pass was a little bit wobbly, I think, but perhaps it was catchable. But anyway, it wasn't caught, and we're still at 41-10, and that brings up third and goal from the 8. Same formation, basically. There's 3 receivers. We've got a running back here. Here goes. There it is. This time, Hall catches the ball. Tall receiver, and he got up. The pass was nicely thrown over the defender, who was a lot shorter than Hall, and caught for a touchdown. So Hoffman has scored more touchdowns than any other opponent 5 games into this season against Fremd. With their 2nd touchdown, they've now surpassed the output of Lake Zurich, which was 1. The other 3 opponents scored no touchdowns. So that's the point is good. We now have a 41-17 ball game with 9:50 left to play in the fourth quarter. So Hoffman has 17 points on. They've been on the wrong side of a couple of big plays. The block punt for a touchdown and then the tip pass for a touchdown, which certainly added to the total for Fremd. Both of those plays, they deserve some credit for blocking a punt, of course, and for the heads-up play of picking up the tip pass. Nevertheless, they were big plays that don't happen every week, and even to good football teams like Fremd with a lot of players that are playing very alert football. But anyway, Hoffman can take some consolation here. Of course, the game's not over. There's 9:50, but they already have put 17 points on the board, and coming into the night, Fremd had allowed only 13 points in 4 football games. So there's the onside kick again, and there's people claiming on both sides. We'll see what the referees have to say. It's Fremd. So here comes the Fremd offense out on the field. Spread formation with one running back. Looks like a new quarterback is in. That's number 11. He hands off. That's Andrew Billard is now in at quarterback for Fremd. Very similar size to the other 2. Every quarterback on Fremd is 5'11", and they're all in the 170s. This Andrew Billard is listed at 177. Finley is at 170, and Bozong has 175. So difficult to distinguish these quarterbacks from up in the press box. They're almost identical size. That was Billard running with the football to his left.
No gain on the play. Vikings have a 3rd and 8.
No gain on that play. 3rd and 8 coming up.
Fremd starting to do a little substituting here and there in the lineup.
41-17, they might as
Got it.
well.
Fairly deep squad, although not as many as last year, according to some write-ups. Tipped and nobody there to gather it in. It falls to the ground incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. So with the score remaining 41-17, Fremd is getting ready to punt. 8:16 to go in the ball game. That looks like Cage is back to receive the kick. Rolls into the kicker, gets off a low, hard kick that gets a Fremd bounce. Goes into the end zone though. The Fremd player down there was not unable to down it before it made its way into the end zone. So come out to the 20 where Hoffman will put it in play. 8:07 remaining in the game. And it's a 41-17 game now. Remains that level. .24 differential, so Hoffman will definitely, almost certainly avoid a running clock here tonight. And they're looking better all the time as they've put 17 points on the board against a really outstanding defensive unit. Player down in the field.
Tyler Biddle on the reception. 5-yard gain for Hoffman Estates.
There's a 5-yard pickup on that last play. Brings up 2nd and 5. The ball will be on the 25-yard line once they put it back in play. There's an injured player down on the field. It might be number 25, Pat Kirka. This is the first Mid-Suburban West Conference game of the season. The race seems to be shaping up as tilted somewhat toward Fremd and Barrington, which got through the pre-conference games with Barrington came through with 4-0 and Fremd with 3-1 and did so fairly impressively in both cases. So they right now would have to be thought of as the favorites, although Conant has a nice ball club with good line play both sides of the line, and Schaumburg has started to come around again. So there will be some interesting games along the way. Here comes Hoffman on a run to the left here with a pickup of about 2 yards or so. Brings up looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1 situation here. Mays with 5 receivers now. Nobody, there's Beetra Vitra going through the backfield, and Mays runs with it himself, picks up the first down.
Ball marked at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10.
Here's Mays, pitches the ball to Petrie. Got a little bit of room out there, so picks up about 2.5, 3 yards. Still a long road. Hoffman has done a nice job getting the score up to 17, but still have 24 points to make up in order to tie up this game, and we've only got 6 minutes left. There's Mays. The receiver was covered. I think he just threw it away, threw it long. A lot of speed on the Fremd defense. That we haven't seen many receivers getting open by very much at all. Well-organized defense. There's no missed coverages or anything, and so whatever Hoffman has gotten tonight, they've earned. And they've been able to run a little better than I would have anticipated. Here's Mays looking. He tries to hit Cleveland on a on a slant in pass, and
Incomplete. 4th and 6.
it's an incompletion, so that brings up 4th and 6, and they're out close to midfield. They're out there. Well, actually, it's a 39-yard line, and looks like they're going to go for it here. There's only 5:53 in the game, and down by 24. Got to work against the clock here. Now that's complete for the first down to Hall. He's still got it. He's still going. He's going all the way down to the 29-yard line. A fine effort on the part of Hall to catch that ball and then run with it all that way. Puts his team down at the 29 with a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10, and a chance to put more points on the board. There's Hall again. Mays hits him, and he takes it in on a little curl back pattern, and they're all the way down to this first down puts them at the, looks like about the 15 or 16 yard line, roughly 15 yard line, let's say, with the first down. So one back in the backfield this time. Gives him a little more of a run threat here, and he gives it to Petrie. Petrie takes it, the ball curls in, met by a whole group of Fremd tacklers who bring him down.
Six-yard pickup for Channing Vitre, 2nd and 4.
So here it is, 2nd and 4. Tipped again. That's been a problem tonight. The Fremd defense charging hard. They've tipped a number of balls. It looked like he had a receiver that was open, so that tip was very important. So there's timeout now with 4:20 remaining. Score 17 for Hoffman, 41 for the host Fremd Vikings. And Hoffman trying to get into the end zone again and make this a tighter ball game here. Players are still playing with intensity and have driven down the field on this last possession, and they're in position to do something here with 3rd and 4 at the 9-yard line. He's got a running back right with him. It might be a good place for a run. They've been running the ball better than expected. Some good blocking out of that Hoffman line tonight. There's another tip. It's almost intercepted.
Ball batted at the line of scrimmage. Tommy Van Evenhoven with the near interception. 4th and 4.
Mays tried to dump it off that time.
Hawks' 4th down attempt falls incomplete. Right
So that'll turn it over.
football.
And an opportunity for the Hawks to tighten up this ball game a little bit. Evaporates with that pass falling on the ground there. And
Everyone else in my class is really into it, so I feel like I have the perfect tutors.
so that's first down for Fremd with 4:11 remaining. Score remains 41-17. Starting to see a number of substitutes for Fremd. We have the quarterback, number 11, Andrew Billard, a senior, in. Makes a nice pass to number 32, and it's just a race here. And he avoids a tackle. He's into the end zone. So Fremd strikes with another long touchdown play here. Was almost tackled. Are there any flags? No. Almost tackled at about the 15-yard line or so, but he was able to fend off that tackle and with a little shoulder twist and stay on his feet and carry it into the end zone there for another Fremd touchdown. That's number 32, I believe, Cody Patton on that one. He's a senior, 5'8", 162. He takes it the full route into the end zone. Fremd is now, with the kick, 48 points. He scored 49 points last week. 48 on the board right now. So makes it a 48-17 game, and we've got 3:57 left. So Hoffman will get an opportunity to try to score some more points and show that they can score points against Fremd, which they have tonight, and take something away from this game in that they did move the football quite a bit. But some of the big plays here by Fremd tonight, this most recent one was for probably 85, 90 yards, I think, and those have been the backbreakers. The block punt, tip pass for a touchdown in the first half, and now this. So it's, even without those, Fremd would still be leading, of course, but wouldn't be quite so lopsided. 48-17, 3:57 remaining. And it looks like Fremd is going to go to 5-0, and they certainly seem to have the blend of offense and defense to carry them on to quite a highly successful season here. And they don't play Barrington until the last game of the season. They'll have challenges from others before that, though. Here's the return by Hoffman. Returner Gage again, and he's pushed out of bounds right around the 26-yard line or so. So Hoffman will put it into play there with 3:47 remaining now. With that most recent touchdown, a lot of the Hoffman fans have started to head for the exits. Pass is incomplete. We have a new quarterback seeing some action for Hoffman right now, and that's Keegan Pierce, quarterback. He's 6 feet tall, 145-pound junior. Here's a new running back, number 20. Bryant Jones takes off. He's a sophomore, seeing some action here tonight in the closing moments of this game. We're now under 3 minutes in the clock running, with the score 48-17. So Fremd is back up to a 31-point advantage at this stage of the game. It's now 4th down, and looks like Fremd is, or Hoffman is going to punt the ball away and get it off, and it's the expectation there was that it was going to be a fake. There was nobody back to receive the punt for Fremd. With only a little over 2 minutes left, it seemed that it would be that Hoffman would either go for it or fake a punt. So only 2:08 left. Fremd taking over, and I think we can expect to see them maybe run a couple of plays on the ground and then take a knee a few times. It's another fine performance by Fremd, but the performance by Hoffman is one that showed that they could move the ball against a really good defense, and that's got to be encouraging to Hoffman. Looking down the rest of the season, they're most likely not going to see a defense quite as fast and tough as this Fremd defense. And they managed to put 17 on the board, and they were down there a few other times when they didn't score. Here's Fremd lining up. I think we may have yet another quarterback out there for Fremd. That's Justin Castillo is in for Fremd, a junior quarterback, 6'1", 160 pounds. taking a few reps here toward the end of the ball game. Now they take a knee. We're down to 123.
Justin Castillo in the quarterback for the Vikings takes a knee.
So we're down to just over a minute. Fremd lines up again. This time they run a play, and it's Castillo getting away from the tackle and getting a first down, it looks like. That'll stop the clock for a little while. It's with 47.6 seconds to go in the game, 48-17. Fremd with another fine win here. They rattled off a string of decisive victories. I believe next year they take on Schaumburg over at, or next week, they may take on Schaumburg over at Schaumburg. Schaumburg started a little slow this year, but they've came on and won a game last week, and I haven't seen a score on them tonight, but we know they're a good program, and so Fremd will have a good opponent next week. That's the end of the ball game. The final is the 48-17 score. Fremd going to 5-0, so effectively with tonight they've already secured a playoff position. I'm sure that given the quality of their opponents, they'd have plenty of points, but they're not going to lose much. So it's not just making the playoffs that's the issue with Fremd, it's how far are they going to go this year. So from the looks of it tonight, I think they'll go a long way in the playoffs. And Hoffman made some progress on offense tonight, I think, and they can be proud of what they did by scoring 17 points against a team that had allowed only 13 in 4 games before tonight. So that's the next week. We'll be at the selection would be Schaumburg hosting Fremd.
Schaumburg at Fremd or Conant hosting Barrington?
Conant hosting Barrington, one of those two, and we'll have a final decision on that fairly soon. But we'll be on again next week with another good game in the mid-suburban West, involving either Fremd or Barrington, the favorites at this point, but against good competition, and we're sure we'll see an interesting game next week. So that's it from Fremd tonight, where the Fremd Vikings certainly played extremely well on offense and very alert football, and their defense was tough again, although they did allow a few points this time around. So that's it until next week.